Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how I make my herbal hair growth oil that I use for my 2018 hair growth challenge. Starting off with fenugreek seeds, also known as methi. Methi is known to be a natural conditioner which revitalizes and nourishes your hair, so you end up having that sheen as well as having nourished and conditioned hair. You can use methi in various ways. You can infuse it in your oil like I'm doing today. You can also infuse it in water and use it as a hair spritz. And finally, you can grind it or crush it, mix it into a paste and use it as a hair mask. Next up is hibiscus powder. Now this particular brand is kinda grainy, so I ended up sieving it to get a fine powder. Now thinking back, I should have used this grainy one because I will eventually strain my oil. So the grainy one is good for oil infusion, while the fine one can be used for your hair masks. You can also infuse it in your water to make hair spritz, but I do find it to be a little bit staining, so I don't like using it as a spritz, but it will be great for your hair masks. Hibiscus is known to strengthen hair, promote hair growth, as well as rejuvenate your hair for that silky and shiny look. Our third ingredient is the baobab powder, which is also known as mabuyu in Swahili. I have recently discovered this powder and I find it very interesting, and knowing that I can make an oil infusion out of it is quite amazing for me. Plus it can be used as a face mask, which has vast benefits, so maybe I'll do a video on the face mask later. My last ingredient is this herbal mix, which has rosemary and mint leaves in it. What I did was to dry them up and crush them into a powder form. So this is what is going to form our herbal mix. I do advise that you use dry ingredients when you're making an oil infusion, because you do want to minimize the amount of moisture in your oil so that your oil doesn't go rancid. So if you have fresh rosemary, make sure to dry them up so that you can have a fresh oil. I'll be repurposing this airtight glass jar by Kentist. It did contain coconut oil in it. I sanitized it by dipping it into hot water and let it drip dry. I didn't wipe it out with any cloth because that will recontaminate it with germs, so you do want to air dry your containers after sanitizing. Maintaining that 1 teaspoon ratio, I go in with the herbal mix and the hibiscus powder. I also add some henna into it so that just for that extra oomph, I guess. So the oil I'll be using is this macadamia oil by Kencado. I feel like macadamia oil is slept on because it does have the same properties as coconut oil, such that it does penetrate the hair shaft, depositing all the goodness and the nutrients that it contains. So in this case, all the nutrients that it will be infused will be deposited in the hair, making it stronger, locking in the moisture and just replenishing the hair, restoring its shine and its glossiness. So it does make the hair glossier and smoother over time. I put the jar in a hot water bath so that the heat in the water can warm up the oil and jumpstart the infusion process. Meanwhile, I took the time to write down all the details that the oil contains, especially when it was made and when it's ready, on a masking tape. This is important, especially if you want to document what works for your hair and what doesn't. So I do recommend this, highly recommend this. So this is a batch that I had done before, and this is what you should expect once the 6 weeks are up, because I will let it sit for 6 weeks in a dark area. So this is it, but I am going to show you how I use it in a future wash day video. So see you in the next one.